Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
It's time for Angels Spring Training Baseball this afternoon from Tempe Diablo Stadium. The Angels get ready to take on the National League Central's Cincinnati Reds. Monday afternoon baseball here in the Valley as the Angels get ready to take on the Reds here in Tempe. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Jose, yesterday the Angels had a nice victory here as they snapped a little losing streak here in the Cactus League. They beat the Texas Rangers, and yesterday we saw some of the different ways that the Angels can generate offense and score runs.
How nicely is Ian Kinsler fitting in? Well, you know what? Nowadays, when it seems like things are scripted offensively, he is off the script. He takes off before the guy delivers home. That's Bartolo Colon, by the way. And then the pressure is on. This guy's played, what, 8 games? He's scoring 6 runs. He gets on base. He's got the walks. He makes things happen when you don't have to necessarily go out there and get a base hit. Then, of course, his former teammate in Detroit, Justin Upton, driving the ball. Couple home runs, 8 RBIs. That middle lineup looking very nice. So you can go out there and hit for power as El Nino does following Justin Upton. Or of course, when you consider now Mike Trout is getting his timing and how the Angels wanted to address a couple of deficiencies. Well, more than a couple, the Angels needed to get better in driving the ball with the slugging and the extra bases, runs score, Terry, and being able to have better on-base percentage. So all these things are leading to you to know that the way Mike Scioscia approached the offseason, Billy Epler, baseball operations, it's all about complementing the primary players along with the guys and the rest of that roster.
Well, we knew the Angels had to upgrade the offense from a year ago. It ranked last in most of the major categories.
Well, and then you go to the players that are going to be filling in at some point when guys need a little day off or here, and I think we know. Luis Valbuena can go out there and drive a baseball. 22 home runs last year after missing the entire first month, and Luis has continued that here and playing a whole lot in Arizona. A little third, a little first, 16 homers after the All-Star break when he got into rhythm. You know what? Chris Carter, who got a chance when the Angels traded C.J. Cron, has made the most out of it. He's putting the ball in play. Guys, only 2 years removed from hitting 41 home runs in the National League. Then we go to Terry having a little offense behind the plate. Maldonado provided a whole lot last year, got a little tired now. Rene Rivera, 10 home runs last year, and part-time duty pretty much lets you know how well thought of the plan was in the blueprint to have the offense be well-rounded even when guys are not in there as regular players.
You always like to have veteran complementary players, and the trio that Jose mentioned have certainly done a good job so far this spring. On the pitching side today, we'll see Garrett Richards. 4th start for him this spring. First Angel starter to make his 4th start. Thing I've liked about him, Jose, the numbers are good this spring, but I've liked his command.
I like that word. Command for him is filling the zone. It's command about what? Being able to set hitters up. The numbers really tell you how good he's been in the zone. And then with the strikeouts that are high, it's because he's able to get guys to chase outside the zone because of the many 0-1 counts that he's had. Fastball explosive, 96, 97 miles an hour. He can maintain that. But if you look at Richards overall and just the repetition of the delivery, the tempo on the mound, the quickness and the pace and getting the baseball and having a little more assuredness as to what he wants to do when the sign's put down, Terry, tells you a lot about this guy projecting, yes, a healthy one as the Angels ace moving forward here in 2018.
Absolutely. If he's healthy, Garrett Richards certainly a #1, and the Angels will be facing a starting pitcher today in the Reds, Homer Bailey, who they were hoping to be a #1. It hasn't played out that way, though, since they signed him to the big contract.
And I think it's good for the regular players to see a guy like Homer Bailey who is trying to go out there and get a little better with his craft. He's missed a lot of time. He's on a hefty contract, but now he is healthy, and they have suffered some minor injuries here, the Reds, in spring training with their starting rotation, which, of course, puts a little more emphasis on Homer Bailey and what he can do here today.
Yeah, he's had only 8 wins over the last 3 years and an ERA over the last 3 years of over 6. So we'll see what happens today. Angels wrapping up a little mini homestand here in Tempe, hosting the Cincinnati Reds. We'll have the starting lineups, the start of today's game. It's coming up next right here on Fox Sports West.
How do you
red here today at Tempe Diablo Stadium, and so glad you could be with us here on AM 830 and our simulcast on Fox Sports West. Jose Mora with you with Terry Smith. Angels and the Cincinnati Reds, who make the trip from Goodyear. Starting lineups are brought to you by In and Out Burger. That's what a hamburger is all about. Angels already on the field with Garrett Richards on the mound, and for the Reds, Jesse Winker leads off. He is playing right field. Nick Senzel, young prospect, playing third base, batting second. Joey Votto trying to find that stroke here in the spring as first base, batting third. Adam Duvall, big power, batting fourth, designated hitter. Mason Williams will make the start, batting fifth for the Reds. He's playing left field. Former All-Star Devin Mesoraco, catcher, on his way back from the issues of injuries. Mesoraco is a catcher, batting sixth. Jose Peraza, young shortstop, batting seventh. Billy Hamilton moved down, takes some pressure off of him. Only 1 for 21 here in the spring for Billy Hamilton, playing center field, batting eighth. And then Cliff Pennington, former Angel, is batting ninth at second base. For the Reds, Homer Bailey on the mound, and for the Angels, Mike Scioscia's lineup. Ian Kinser at second base. Mike Trout in center. Upton batting third in left field. Albert Pujols, number 5, is at first base, batting fourth. Cole Calhoun, after a 9 for 18 start here in the spring. Rojo is batting fifth in right field. Zach Kozar back to third base, is batting sixth. Shohei Ohtani is batting seventh, designated hitter. Got a base hit yesterday against Bartolo Colon. Rene Rivera, Angels catcher, bats eighth, and David Fletcher makes a start as shortstop, batting ninth. It is all set. The Angels come in with a record of 7-11. The Reds at 6-11-1. Here comes the first pitch, first batter, and also here's Terry Smith.
All right, thanks, Jose. We are just about set to go. As Jose mentioned, the umpires for today's ball game: Alfonso Marquez behind the plate. We'll have Brian Gorman, Kerwin Danley, and Ron Kolpa on the bases. And bright sunshine and warm weather today here in Tempe as the Angels and the Reds square off. Here's the first pitch today, and that one is a little bit high. We're underway. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. Dimensions at Tempe Diablo: 340 down the left side, 420 to dead center, 360 to right field. The power alleys go 400 feet. And the next pitch, that one is a pitch that misses a little bit low. It's 2-0. Our game time temperature 81 degrees. And the first pitch was 1 minute early today at 1:09.
Get out of here quicker today.
That's right.
Nice.
Maybe set the tone. Here's the pitch, and that's on the outside corner. A called strike. Top of the first inning. Being brought to you by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in California. Rotolo is pursuing excellence every day. You can visit them at rotolo.com. 2-1 on Winker. Outside ball 3-1. Jesse Winker, 47 games with the Reds last year, hit just under 300. 85 games in AAA, hit just under 350. And this spring, having a nice spring. And here's the next delivery. That one misses, ball 4. So Richards, who's had good control so far this spring, only 2 walks in 9 innings, walks the first batter today. The Reds have a base runner, and Nick Senzel will be the next batter.
Perhaps that was the one sequence with pitches being made by Garrett Richards where he was not able to consistently follow the glove, even around the path of the glove, with Rene Rivera.
Senzel was in A-ball and Double-A, just 22 years old. That's where he played last year, and hit over 300 in the minors last year. The pitch, and that one is chased and missed for strike 1.
He's been pretty impressive here in camp, and the way his versatility showing up. They want to see some time also with him at shortstop. He's such a great athlete that he is. Good looking young player.
He's regarded as the Reds' top prospect. And here's the pitch. He cuts at that high fastball right there and misses it. No balls, 2 strikes to count.
Solid wide base to hit from.
Last year, between A-ball and Double-A, he hit 340. Has some power, quick bat. First round pick of the Reds in 2016, and he hits one on a high hop to third. The throw to second for 1. Relay to first a little bit late. Senzel can run, so he avoids being double up. The Angels get the out at second base. Game's first out, and Joey Votto will be the next batter.
Bit of a strange sight for some of the Reds, saying, hey, wait a minute, who's there at third base? That's our former all-star shortstop there in Zach Cozart. Made a good play, making sure that ball got down and battling a little bit of that sun with that high hopper.
Here's Votto, who's had a quiet spring, just 2 for 21. 320 hitter a year ago for the Reds. A career 313 hitter, and he takes that one for a called strike.
Same Joey Votto we saw when we saw him over there at Goodyear. Does not even step out of the batter's box in between pitches. Chokes up, almost like a two-strike approach right from the get-go.
Richards set, and the next one on the lefty hitter. That's taken for a called strike. 0-2 the count. Votto, a 10-year deal that he's on with the Reds. This is year 5 of that 10-year deal. $225 million contract.
All worth it. He is an outstanding player.
Here's the pitch, and he checks his swing there and taps that one foul over on the third base side. 0-2 the count.
You can see it's still battling some timing issues. Hands balance, hands going back in time, sometimes not, sometimes being caught there in between, sometimes trying to pick up the spin of the baseball. Happens to the best, and we know before you know it, he's going to find it, and once again, healthy. Have a super year for the Reds.
Former NL MVP digging in here against Richards. Here's the pitch, and that one there is tipped foul right by the plate. He just stays alive, and that one has Votto moving out of the batter's box there. A couple practice swings for him before moving back in.
He's not afraid to practice those swings anywhere. He's on base, Terry, practicing those swings. Talking hitting with a lot of the first basemen around the league, which is always a pleasure. Hearing from those guys as Votto talks baseball and hitting when he's around.
So Richards trying to take care of business here against Votto. There's a toss over to first base, and diving back to the bag goes Senzel. Around the infield, Albert Pujols at first. Ian Kinsler plays second base. Zach Cozart at third. David Fletcher getting the start at short for the Angels. Justin Upton in left. Mike Trout in center. Cole Calhoun in right. Rene Rivera is the catcher. Shohei Ohtani is DHing, and Garrett Richards pitching. Runner goes, pitch a ball, throw down to second, and out. Boy, that was a perfect throw there by Rivera, and gunned down is Senzel for the second out. Right on the money.
On the money. Good pitch to run on, and good pitch to throw too, better said. As Apple's kind of going into the runner's lane. Good thing it was a little bit higher because the quick tag by Fletcher, also flexible moving his feet. Puts that tag right on his shoulder.
So 2 outs, 2 strikes on Votto, and he fouls one off on the left side, backing out of play.
Rivera in his 18th professional season.
If the inning continues, Adam Duvall would be up next. He's DHing for them. 1-2 on its way, and that is a called third strike. He fooled him, took something off the fastball there, got him looking, and the inning is over. So a good inning for Garrett Richards. He walked the leadoff man, but ends up facing only 3 batters here. No runs in the inning, no hits, the walk, and nobody left on. Bottom of the first is coming up. No score from Tempe on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels set to bat as we go to the bottom of the first inning. There is no score, and Ian Kinsler takes ball one from Homer Bailey, 31-year-old right-hander. This is his fourth start this spring. And he's ready. Here's the next pitch. That one is drilled down the left field side. It's tight to the line down in the left field corner, and that ball is out of here. Kinsler's first home run, first RBI this spring. He's been looking good as the Angels leadoff man, and it's 1-0 Angels.
Well, quite interesting, Terry. We talk about the way the Angels are finding ways to score runs, and we talk about Kinsler and his ability to be distracting to the defense and the way he runs the bases. And there he goes, showing that power. If you take his career graphic on spray chart, you'll see a lot of home runs right around that pole in left field.
There's Mike Trout, and the first pitch on Trout misses ball one.
Terry, why did you mention him in the open as a home run threat too, man? Come on. Didn't you get the open done last night or something?
He didn't waste any time.
Socio.
Yep. There's one that's fouled off on the right side. 1-1 on Trout.
That's one of the, I think the first run that he scores all spring where he didn't have to get dirty.
Yeah.
Ian Kinsler.
Yep.
He has scored 6 runs in 8 games coming into today.
Next pitch a little bit inside on Trout. Homer Bailey was a guy that when the Reds signed him to a 6-year deal a number of seasons ago, they thought he was going to be the ace of their staff, but he has done nothing but struggle for the most part since signing that contract. He's had a lot of elbow issues. He's had Tommy John surgery. It's a guy who has pitched 2 no-hitters in the big leagues, but the last 3 years he's gone 8-13 with an ERA of 6.39. And there he misses on Mike Trout, and he has a 5-pitch walk. Upton will be the next batter.
At one point, Bailey had consecutive seasons of 200+ innings, 20+ quality starts. You mentioned the no-hitters. They thought he'd be the anchor for that staff for a long time, and out of the blues, he got a hefty contract. And just trying to get back to that one that they thought they signed and projected for.
Only pitched 91 innings last year. He had elbow surgery a little over a year ago. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there on Upton for a called strike. 0-1 to count.
Just look at the way Justin Upton took that pitch and how well he must be seeing the baseball. Inner lane first pitch, and he did not even flinch. It's like he knew slider was coming. Just watch it all the way in.
Here's the next delivery. This is chopped on the third base side. Fair ball off the glove of Senzel. He picks the ball up and throws to first and gets Upton. Boy, that was a nice job by Nick Senzel over there. After that ball hit off his glove, he stayed right with it, and he ends up getting the out on Upton at first base. Trout moves up to second. Albert Pujols the next batter.
Kid's got some ability. Going to his right, knocks it down, and then the arm. Heard some awes in there in the crowd as he delivered from foul territory, pretty much a strike to first base.
So here's Albert, who's batting cleanup. Pujols 4 for 24 this spring with 4 driven in. And here's the pitch. That's a little bit low for a ball.
Albert's seen a lot of breaking balls, also a lot of fastballs inside, so he has been on the pull side, a little pull happy here so far in the spring, trying to get more up the middle the other way when according to how they pitch to him.
Here's a fake toss.
I didn't see that before, have you?
Yeah.
With no ball, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a better move. Second baseman is actually smiling out there.
Well, if Trout would have been at third base and he did that, that would have been a balk, right? Here's the next delivery, and that is a strike on the outside corner taken by Albert. 1-1. Infield is backed up. The center fielder, Billy Hamilton, plays a very, very shallow center, even with Albert at the plate. Here's the pitch, and that's a little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Around the infield, they have Votto at first. Cliff Pennington, the ex-Angel, plays second for the Reds today. Nick Senzel is the third baseman. Jose Peraza is the shortstop. Mason Williams in left. Billy Hamilton in center, and Jesse Winker in right. Devin Mesoraco catching. Adam Duvall, the DH, and Homer Bailey on the mound. 2-1. Hit sharply third base side. That's a fair ball. That's going to roll down the left side. Trout will score easily. Albert stumbles rounding first, and he's still going to get the second base without a throw. Albert hit a little divot, it looked like, running to second base, but appears to be okay there. RBI double, 2-0 Angels.
A bit of a scary turn there for Albert Pujols, as you mentioned. Bit of divot going around first base, and he's just speeding up. Alfredo Griffin saying, take a chance, go ahead. He made it, and obviously no effect whatsoever. He's good. Gets a ribby.
Well, we talked about Homer Bailey and his struggles for the Reds. He's had a rough spring, and he's off to a rough start today. Here's the pitch, and this is Cole Calhoun fouling one off on the left side, backing out of play.
And that was a trend for Bailey last year, to first inning ERA of 8. A tough time just getting going during games. Took him a couple of innings when he was on to at least find good rhythm.
Bailey looks in for the sign. No balls, 1 strike, 2-0 Angels. Bottom of the first, and another runner in scoring position. Albert Pujols, and the pitch on Cole Calhoun misses low for a ball.
Watching a little bit of an adjustment in Cole Calhoun's stance today. A little more sitting on the back leg, and a little more straight up front leg, and actually a little more open stance there for Cole today.
Here's the next pitch. That's taken for a called strike.
Solid spring, production-wise, contact-wise, and his spray chart has taken a turn to the right side. I should say the correct side, which is now using the left side of the diamond.
Here's the next pitch, the 1-2. Chopped on the right side. That'll get Albert over to third, and from the outfield grass, couple feet back, Pennington will throw out Cole Calhoun. So he does advance the base runner. The Angels need a 2-out hit, and Zach Cozart, the ex-Red, will get ready to face his club.
Strange feeling right here for Zach Cozart. Early in spring, just kept saying it still feels weird to not be in Goodyear. In camp with the Reds.
Yep. When the Angels faced the Reds in a ball game a week ago, last Monday, Cozart did not travel to Goodyear for that ball game, so he's facing his ex-mates for the first time.
Got to play a little shortstop yesterday, back to third base today. Anderton Simmons taking ground balls today. Should be just a couple of days away, even though he told me he's ready, but Angels taking it real easy on him, especially with the off day scheduled tomorrow for everybody but some guys.
Here's a pitch a little bit low. Yeah, we could see Simmons maybe on Wednesday when the Angels are going to be on the road against the Cleveland Indians. Hard to believe the Angels have only 6 more home games here this spring.
That's it. For 2 full weeks, that's it.
Yeah. Here's the next pitch. That is right in there for a called strike, so it's 1-2.
Joey Votto is absolutely as far as you can be from that first base line against his good friend.
There were no breeze to speak of when we got started. 81 degrees warm today here in the valley. 1-2 delivery. This is bounced softly out towards the shortstop. Peraza has it. His throw is in time, and that's how the inning will end. But the Angels use a couple of hits and score 2 runs. They started off with the Kinsler leadoff homer against Bailey. After 1, 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Garrett Richards has a little cushion to work with. 2-0 Angels as we start the second inning. Adam Duvall, Mason Williams, and Devin Mesoraco, the first 3 for the Reds. And the first pitch bounces in for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Duvall DHing, and he's a guy that figures to be in left field for the Reds this season.
Big time power right here.
Here's the delivery, and that's a little bit inside. It misses for a ball.
One-time former San Francisco Giant farmhand and part of a trade with Mike Leake a few years back. And right away showed that he can square the baseball and hit it a long ways.
All-star a couple years ago for the Reds. Fouls this one back just to our right, backing out of play.
It's a good story. He was one of those guys that late bloomer. Got thrown into that package with the Mike Leake trade. First full year in the big leagues, 33 home runs.
So the count's 2-1 on him, and here's the next pitch, and that is a little bit high. It's 3 balls, 1 strike.
He's still trying to fight that crossfire action today from Garrett Richards in the way he sees the glove from Rene Rivera.
Here's the 3-1. That's fouled off on the right side, so the count full. It's now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pretty good crowd on hand today. Angels and the Reds squaring off here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. And this is the final time these two teams will meet this spring. Count still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Angels will not play the Reds during the regular season. Mason Williams waiting on deck. Here comes the payoff once again, and this one is lined into center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Kind of hit it off the end of the bat. Shallow ball that drops a number of feet in front of Trout for a leadoff single. So they have Duvall on. Williams will be the batter, and Want to remind you this copyrighted broadcast presented by Authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of Angels Baseball. Williams last year played a little bit for the New York Yankees. And there's a pitch that he takes low and inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. One and 0 is the count. Pretty good spring so far for Mason Williams, hitting just under 300. And here's the 1-0. He checks on that one. Did he go around on the appeal? They say he did. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Trying to cheat on one of those fastballs a little bit early, and Garrett Richards got him. So keeping an eye closely on Richards and Rivera, and lane to lane, glove to hand, see what all works out here this inning.
Garrett Richards set, and the 1-1. This is a ball bounces off the side of the mound. Funny hop, but it's fielded there by Fletcher. Second for 1. Relay to first. A double play. Boy, that was a good job by David Fletcher. That ball took a crazy bounce off the left side of the mound, and Fletcher had to kind of change direction a little bit on it. Does a nice job, and 2 are gone.
Little jam shot. Ball coming in that hard, then slicing away, found another divot. Okay, maybe that's what Albert Pujols also found around first base, because they're out there today, it seems like it. But you're right. Boy, he recovered nicely by setting his feet so good to feed second baseman Kinsler.
So 2 outs. Here's Mesoraco, and the first pitch, it's in there for a strike on him. Mesoraco, a guy the Reds thought he would be their everyday catcher for a long time, but it just hasn't played out that way. He's had all sorts of injury issues.
I'll tell you what, it's good to see him back on the field, even though he is no longer their #1 catcher. As Tucker Barnhart has taken over now as a Gold Glover.
1 ball, 1 strike to count on Devin Mesoraco. And the next delivery, he chases that one and misses it. He's a catcher who's had Tommy John elbow surgery. He's had hip surgery.
Twice.
Yep. He's had shoulder surgery. And a guy who only played in 56 games last season, and a total of 39 games over the 2015 and 2016 seasons. Just can't keep the uniform on. 2-2 the count. He had a very good year for the Reds back in 2014, and then the injuries started happening.
Pretty good pitch, the last one there by Garrett Richards. Nice breaking ball. Close.
2-2, and the Angels won an appeal on that, and then the call is he was holding. So it's a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Mesoraco, an all-star in 2014. He had a stretch that season where he homered in 5 straight ball games for the Reds. But
it's one of those guys, when he hits it, you got to watch it. It's kind of fun.
3-2 payoff, and he fouls that one off right over by his dugout.
There's a big swing, and after a home run, there's a lot of follow-through and certainly a lot of torque put behind him.
Yeah, that's a big swing with 2 strikes right there. Count stays full, 3-2.
Still one of those guys, Terry, that a lot of pitchers still go to because of his experience behind the plate. Good leader, and also a big help for Tucker Barnhart.
And the next delivery, that's up and in, and that'll be ball 4. So a 2-out walk.
You mentioned command for Garrett Richards, which have been pretty impressive all in his first 3 starts. He's battling just a little bit of that today.
A little bit off today. He had walked only 2 batters in his 3 starts, but he's already walked 2, and he's only faced 6 batters so far today, but it hasn't cost him at the moment. Batter is the shortstop, Peraza. And here's the first pitch, and that bounces right past Rivera, and that wild pitch will move Mesoraco up to second base. Wild pitch all the way on that one.
It's one of those days in spring training where there's some things that you have to just go out there and iron out. And that includes Rivera. As Mike Socha gets to know Rivera more, the pitchers get to know him a little bit more, and how to calm these guys down and what to go to in these situations here.
1 ball, no strikes. Peraza, who's batting, is the Reds' everyday shortstop. Came over from the Dodgers a couple years ago. Here's the pitch, and this is chopped right to Kinsler. Should be the end of the inning. He has it. He'll throw him out, and that'll do it. So not a whole lot happening in the inning. The Reds off the scoreboard here in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Shohei Ohtani will lead it off. Angels set the bat, bottom of the second, up 2-0. And here's the first pitch from Bailey. That's low and inside on Ohtani. Shohei has had 2 hits so far this spring, a run batted in. He's hitting 143. One of a couple lefty hitters in the lineup.
I'd like to see him go out there and just air it out. Swing as hard as he can.
Here's the next pitch, and he's late on the swing on that one. Fouls it back to the screen.
Kind of like that. You know what? He was on time on that one, on that breaking ball. Good job there by Shohei. After a fastball in, I think pretty much going with a mindset of maybe seeing a pattern, and he was right on that.
1-1, and that's a little low and in. 2 balls and a strike. Ohtani, Rivera, and Fletcher, bottom third of the batting order. Here's Bailey's next pitch, and this is chopped right out near the shortstop, fielded by Peraza, and his throw will get Ohtani, and that'll be the first out. 6-3 on the ground out. Rene Rivera will be the next batter.
A little big league pitching there against Shohei Ohtani. Fastball's in, then a breaking ball away. Good swing on it. Fastball in again, and I think he was expecting the pattern to continue with another breaking ball where it was not. Fastball in again, running in, and broke his bat.
Rivera's had a nice spring for the Angels, 9 for 20 with a home run. And he takes a big cut at that pitch, fouls it off over by Fletcher waiting on deck. Rene Rivera, a veteran, 34 years old, figures to be the Angels' backup catcher this season.
Many bus rides. 18 professional seasons. It has not been easy for him to become an established big leaguer, and here he is.
Here's the pitch. That one misses. Takes it for a ball. One ball, one strike. And here's the next pitch, and that is fouled back just to our right, backing out of play. Mentioned Rivera, likely the backup catcher to Maldonado, and of course the Angels have Gratterall here, Carlos Perez here. Carlos Perez is out of options, so we'll see how it all plays out.
There's quite a few of them, as you were educating me before the game.
Yeah, Jeffrey Marte is out of options. And of course he's been sidelined a little bit now this spring. There's a pitch chased and missed, and down on strikes goes Rivera.
In fact, tomorrow with a scheduled off day for the Angels in the Cactus League, there's going to be plenty of players in action here in the game, among them Ohtani and maybe even Jeffrey Marte.
So with 2 outs, nobody on, David Fletcher, the number 9 batter, bats for the first time today. He's hitting over 360 this spring, and he takes that one low. We have Simmons being sidelined for a few days now. It's given Fletcher a chance to play some shortstop. Colin Walsh has had a chance to play a little shortstop. Here's the next pitch. That one is in there. Zach Cozart has played a little shortstop in the absence of Simmons.
I think it was good to get him back to third base, Terry.
Yep.
Get him back to get those reps.
Here's the next pitch, and that's chased and missed. Bailey has always had a good splitter. He'll throw the fastball, slider. He has a cut fastball, a curveball.
He's throwing some good secondary pitches here this inning to both Rivera now and Fletcher.
The 1-2. And that's line foul down the right side, backing out of play. Cincinnati Reds, it's been a rough couple of decades for them. 3 winning seasons the last 17 years, and they lost 94 games last year. Had back-to-back 94 loss seasons. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that one is a pitch that misses a little bit low.
It's been rough, Terry. Last 4 seasons they have not won more than 76 games in any of those.
Finished in last place in the NL Central 3 years in a row. Their farm system is improving. It's pretty good right now, so maybe a little light at the end of the tunnel for Reds fans. Here's the 2-2. And that's a check swing, ball tapped on the third base side. Senzel charges the third baseman Fields and throws out Fletcher. The inning is over. So quiet second for the Angels. The third is coming up right now. 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Third inning baseball, 2-0 Angels. Billy Hamilton, who's usually the leadoff batter for the Reds. He's hitting out of the 8-hole today. He's had a tough spring, only one hit, 21 times up. And he gets ready to dig in. Switch hitter batting from the left side against Richards. And the first pitch, he started him off speed. He misses high with that one. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Hamilton, then Pennington, who's batting 9th, and then the leadoff batter, Jesse Winker. Next delivery. That one is low. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, how much of a threat is Billy Hamilton when he gets on? Think about it. Even with his poor career on-base percentage, this guy scores over 40% of the time that he gets on, Terry. It's unbelievable.
He can really run, one of the fastest runners in the game, and he takes that one outside. And so now Richards, who has struggled with his control here in the first few innings, is behind 3-0 on Hamilton. One of 5 hitters in their lineup batting left-handed today, and there's one taken for a strike, caught the outside part of the plate. Angels outfield playing Hamilton to hit the ball the opposite way, shading him towards left, and the next delivery, that's nowhere close. So that's the second leadoff walk by Richards in 3 innings, and the third he's walked overall against 8 batters. And now it brings up Cliff Pennington.
Well, in between innings, Gary Richards just trying to get back on the same page with Rene Rivera and working out some of the issues. He actually called Rivera out as he's leaving the mound and get some input going from both sides as they head back to the dugout last time out.
Pennington at the plate, another switch hitter batting left, former Angel, and he's trying to win a spot on the Reds roster. He's hitting .200 this spring, 4 for 20. Signed a minor league deal with the Reds in the offseason. Ben Revere, who was with the Angels last year, also another player who signed a minor league deal with Cincinnati, trying to win a spot. Here's one that bounces in. Ball pops up in the air. Firing to second is Rivera. The throw just a little bit late. And that was with Hamilton running. That was a pretty close play, but he does move up on the wild pitch.
Great pickup. Good recovery there by Rene behind the plate. Ball goes up, comes down, he fires away. Perhaps Hamilton hesitated just slightly, and even with that hesitation, he made it in there fairly easily.
So already 3 walks and 2 wild pitches for Richards here in this game, but the Angels have the lead in the next delivery. That's grounded foul on the right side.
You talk about these 2 former Angels. They both have a very good chance of breaking camp with the ball club. We know how valuable a healthy Cliff Pennington could be for a team like Cincinnati. And Ben Revere hit way over 300 for the Angels last half of the season last year and stole 21 bases.
He did not make the trip here today, and we did see him a week ago. There's another pitch that misses, and Richards is kind of fighting himself out there on the mound. He's getting behind hitters. It's 2-1 here on Pennington.
Stands now at 43 pitches, 34 combined the first 2 innings.
Counts 2 balls and 1 strike. Next one on Pennington, and that is in there. It caught the inside part of the plate off speed.
I like what Richards did. It's like, you know what, let's try something else. Here's a breaking ball. Let's change the pattern. Doesn't have to be a fastball just to find it. A lot of times that release out of your fingers just comes by a different feel on your secondary pitches. To try just less harder.
2-2. Pennington swings at that one and taps it foul just outside the batter's circle. So count holding, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Angels 2 runs, 2 hits. The Reds no runs, 1 hit. Although the Reds have been getting some base runners, but had some people thrown out on the bases. The Angels turned to double play against them last inning. Two and 2 the count. Aaron Richards positioned on the first base side of that pitching rubber as he awaits the sign from Rivera. They want to agree on it. They're all set, and we'll see what happens on the next delivery. The count even. A look at second and the 2-2. Low and in. Full count. So Richards, 46 pitches. The breakdown balls and strikes not too favorable right now.
First pitch strikes with 3 of the first 9 batters.
22 out of the strike zone, 24 in the strike
You
zone.
can go out there and find it. It's got room to work with here so far.
Payoff delivery, and Pennington checks on the swing. They say he was holding, and it's another walk back to back. And you go back to last inning, and Richards has now walked 3 of the last 4 that he's faced. Want to remind Angel fans you can join the Angels for Saturday night post-game fireworks shows presented by Wells Fargo. Visit angels.com/promotions for details. 4 walks against the first 9 batters. First time through the batting order. And a little discussion out at the mound right now.
As we talk about the Reds during those losing seasons and how tough it's been for them. Well, they've added because of that and the draft picks they went after, and as he also talked about, restock that system. And here's one of them in Winker, along with Senzel, who we saw today already playing a solid third base, good at bats, good athlete. Well, as Richard struggles, give it to the Reds and their approach here too. Been pretty disciplined all the way around.
Yep, they've been patient. So Charlie Nagy goes back to where the Angels coaches are seated, and the meeting is over. Now we'll see what happens with the leadoff man. Winker, a lefty batter, takes that one, and it missed a little bit low. Ball trickled away from Rivera, the Angels catcher, but no advancement. So runners at first and second. This outing here for Garrett Richards, not what we've seen from him so far this spring, so he's having to battle here today.
He has had to work for it right here. Stuff is right there to click and get it done.
1-0 pitch. It's lifted in the air into right field. Cole Calhoun is backpedaling. He'll have a play on it. He'll make the grab. The lead runner at second base, Hamilton, will easily tag and advance on the fly out. So that's the first out. Nick Senzel will be the next batter. Runners at the corners now.
Good to see Richards put that fastball in a good spot. A little cut in with his four-seam fastball, not allow Winker to get extended. And a pretty good swing.
Senzel played his college baseball at Tennessee, and he was the Reds' first-round pick in the June 2016 draft, and he was the second player overall selected in that draft.
They're pretty excited with he and, of course, Hunter Green, their last 2 first-rounders.
Here's the pitch, and that one is a little bit high and away for a ball. Of course, Hunter Green, you alluded to him. He's the Reds' best pitching prospect right now, has the ties back to Southern California. One ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch. That's on the outside corner, a called strike. 1-1 the count with the ever dangerous Joey Votto waiting on deck. Speedy guy at third base in Hamilton with 1 out. And the 1-1 delivery, a little bit high. 2 balls, 1 strike.
From a young player, you don't see this often, but coming through the minors, through his years in college, bit of a close stance for Senzel. As I said, a very wide base.
Next delivery, lines that one into left center field. That's going to drive in a run. Just getting to the ball is Upton, and Senzel rounding first fell down. He hit the deck. They'll have runners at the corners. It's 2-1 Angels.
I guess it wasn't just Pujols, right?
Yeah.
Corner on first base, there's something going on there.
Well, Albert's got to kicking around the dirt over there. He's playing first base today.
He was hustling, perhaps thinking, I'm going to go 2 here. Just could not get it done, but he does get it done with a bat.
So they've made Richards pay, and the inning is far from over. Batter now is Votto. Base hit ties up the game. Fly ball deep enough to the outfield ties it up. It's 2-1 Angels here in the third, and the next delivery. That's a first pitch fastball high and outside, 1-0.
And the Reds doing to Richards what other teams have not been able to do through 9 innings coming into today. Only 2 earned runs allowed, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. And Reds capitalizing.
1-0 is the count, and the next pitch, and that is outside. You can kind of feel the frustration of Richards out on the mound today.
Yeah, Mike Scioscia in the dugout. Even Charles Nagy made his way from the area where the coaches sit outside the dugout over to Mike Scioscia's ear on something perhaps that he's catching here today.
Here's the next pitch, 2-0. That's high, and he's definitely out of rhythm right now. He's thrown 21 pitches in this inning, and only 7 of them have been strikes. It's 3-0 on Votto. See what Votto decides to do here. 3-0, and he takes, and that one misses again. Another walk. 3 in the inning. And in the ball game, 5 already against the first 11 that Garrett Richards has faced. So the bases are now loaded.
Richards about tempo, pace, rhythm, and something that first inning when he walked the first batter only made 10 pitches. Things with caught stealing just told me, at least from that crossfire position where he throws, something was not coming out right.
So at the plate, taking the first pitch here is a guy who's dangerous as well, Adam Duvall. First pitch missed on him. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Garrett Richards is really in trouble here in this third inning. He still is working with the lead. Bases loaded. Next pitch, and that one missed inside. 2-0. Pennington is the lead runner at third. At second base, Senzel. At first base, Votto. Dangerous situation here for Richards, who's just having all sorts of trouble throwing strikes.
Find that ground ball. That's what you want here. A little less work.
2-0 delivery, and this is lifted in the air. It should be a routine fly ball to Mike Trout, but also getting ready to tag is the lead runner, Pennington. The catch is made, and the throw ends up going to third base. It will be a sac fly. 2-2 is the score, and also moving up is Senzel as he's tagging at second and moves to third base. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota, our producer engineer on the Angels Baseball Radio Network, is Jorge Sevilla. Monday afternoon baseball, we're tied at 2 here in the third inning. The Reds have scored a couple runs in this inning with only 1 hit in the inning, but the walks have really hurt Richards, and he falls behind here on Williams, missing on the first pitch. It's 1-0.
It's Dino Ebo next to Mike Scioscia talking once again about the direction of those throws coming in from the outfield, especially when there's a back runner. And the only reason Joey Votto is not at second base is because on contact he went halfway and went back to first base.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is tapped foul right by the plate. Of the 14 batters that Richards has faced today, he's gotten in front of only 3 of them with the first pitch strikes, and that's a dangerous road to travel a lot of times.
There's one thing we know, Terry. There are some things he knows he has to work on, and today is that day.
Yeah.
Happens to everybody.
This is a test today for him. Here's the 1-1. That's fouled off on the left side. That's going to get back and out of play.
Of course, we don't want to take credit away from the Reds. We've done a good job saying, well, he's got some command issues. We got to score some runs. Reds came in today with a 6-11 record. Offense scuffling a little bit, only .242 average here in Cactus League play. So here's our chance to get some runs because of the help they're getting from the guy on the mound.
A lot of pitches in this inning. 63 in the game. He's in front here, 1-2, and the next pitch, this is lifted in the air into left center field. It's hanging up for Upton. He'll make the grab on it, and that's how the inning will end. So the Reds get a pair to tie it. We're headed to the bottom of the third inning, 2-2, Angels and Cincinnati on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. So it's a 2-2 ball game as we go to the bottom of the third inning, and let's see who the Angels will be sending up to the plate. It'll be the top of the batting order. Ian Kinsler, Mike Trout, and Justin Upton against Homer Bailey. Kinsler led off the Angels' first inning today with a home run, his first home run this spring. Right-hander against right-hander as Bailey gets the sign from Mesoraco, the Reds catcher this afternoon. Here's the pitch. First one, he gets a strike in there on Ian Kinsler, who was showing signs of bunting. No balls, one strike, the count. That last half inning, top of the third, 29 pitches thrown by Richards, and only 11 of them were strikes. Here's the next one, and this is popped in the air into shallow right field. Winker is coming towards the line. He's not going to get to it. It drops in for a hit. So a bloop single for Ian Kinsler. He starts it off for the Angels with a single. And Mike Trout will be the next batter.
Look at Devin Mesoraco. How about playing the game right and backing off the bases? Devin Mesoraco, the catcher, threw his mask, and he was where he's supposed to be, as a trailer. And Kaiser's a back throw, a big roundabout there at first base by Kinsler. Catcher right at the first base back, Terry. There's something you don't see a whole lot of.
Yeah. So here's Mike Trout. Trout walked and scored back in the first inning. That's when the Angels got their 2 runs and had the lead coming into this third inning. We're now tied at 2, and the pitch, and that is a little bit inside. It misses ball 1.
As you can see, Mike Trout now with a face guard on his helmet, as more players have gone to this type of protection. And Trout got hit in the head yesterday, and he said, that did it for me. He said he'd been thinking about it until yesterday. He goes, yep, that did it. I got to use it.
And there's a pitch a little bit low. Yeah, Trout ended up leaving the game, but he was going to leave the game if he got on base anyway. and really wasn't all that shaken up, even though that ball plucked him right on the top of the batting helmet yesterday when he got hit by a pitch.
If there's extra protection as hard as guys throw nowadays with poor command, why not?
Here's the pitch. This is drilled into left center field, but coming over and having the ball drop in front of him is Williams, and a little bit of miscommunication by the Reds outfielders. The Angels get a hit from Mike Trout there on a ball that looked like it had a shot to be caught. Runners now at the corners, and the Angels are threatening as Upton will step up.
Well, 2 balls so far this inning where when it left the bat you thought they're going to be outs, especially this one had a little hang time. A little miscommunication, exactly lack of familiar territory for both. Speed, one closing on the other, Williams and Hamilton.
Yeah, with Billy Hamilton out there, the way he can run, you kind of think everything's going to be caught.
You actually want to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's what Williams did.
So here's Upton with the Angels threatening to regain the lead. 2 on. Runners at first and third, no outs. There goes Trout on the pitch. That's chopped down to the left side, stopped by the third baseman. Throw goes to first base, and the Angels are going to get a run on this one, and they're not going to get anybody out. Well, Votto did what he thought was the right thing, and I think he was right. He came off the bag to get that throw to first base, but then the throw to the plate was not good. Everybody's safe. A run scores, and the Angels have a 3-2 lead.
Look what's happening here this inning. Couple softly hit balls. The throw brings Votto in. I think he should have just stayed on the bag. I really think he just gotten one sure out and let the guy score, but he was caught. But when he saw Kinser break late.
So that figures to be a fielder's choice. A run batted in. The Angels back on top. With any luck in this inning, Bailey could have been out of the inning, but the Angels have scored a run, no one out, and runners at first and second. Will be an RBI for Upton on the fielder's choice, and here's Albert Pujols, and the first pitch on Albert, and he takes it for a called strike.
There's a lot going on in that play, Terry. Ground ball shortstop. Trout was running. Trout did not look at the play in. He slid head first and second, and then Kinser aware again, following the path of the ball. Little late start, but watching that ball go across the diamond makes it happen again on the base paths. Yeah, this time he got dirty. He's got to get dirty every day. It's just fun to watch. Ian Kinsler.
Here's the 1-0, and that's low, and the ball bounces away from Mesoraco, breaking for third, and getting there safely will be Mike Trout. So, boy, the Angels are very aggressive running the bases here. And we saw that yesterday. We saw Kinsler score a run on a ground ball that was hit on the left side of the infield. He scored all the way from first base on it.
Awareness here by Mike Trout. Breaking ball. He sees the catcher go on his knees, and before you know it, he's got a great secondary. And give it to Mesoraco, too. Quick recovery there on that one.
So runners at the corners, no outs. 3-2 Angels. Here's the next one on Pujols. He slaps one down the third base side. Diving and stopping it is Senzel. His only chance for an out first. In time to get Albert. Scoring is Trout. Another fielder's choice, driving in a run in the inning, and the Angels are back up by a pair. It's 4-2.
What was our TV open about, Terry?
Ways you can score runs in different ways.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Never by design. You just go out there and react to whatever the game is presenting to you that particular day. Because as Terry says, sometimes the game does speed up on you.
It can.
It gets too fast.
So here is Cole Calhoun.
A little base running talk between Mike Scioscia and Ian Kinsler.
Albert out on that ground out, gets the RBI, and this one is fouled off by Calhoun over on the left side. Angels have Upton at second base. Only one out in the inning. Albert Pujols has had a 2 RBI day now for the Angels here in the early going.
6 total for Albert here in the spring. He'll be the first one to tell you it's all because of the guys in front of me, and he's absolutely right. No other way to lead your team in RBIs for 3 consecutive seasons.
Here's the next pitch, and that is taken for a called strike.
In the meantime, Terry, Homer Bailey not scuffling with his command. Angels finding some holes, doing different things, aggressive on the base paths, and just before you know it, he's giving up 4.
Bailey looking in. Their bullpen is still quiet. No action for the Reds at the moment. Here's the next pitch. That's a pitch that comes in on Cole Calhoun. He fouls it right back to the screen. It's still no balls and 2 strikes. Just a beautiful day here for baseball in Tempe, and bright sunshine today. 81 degrees at game time. Angels have the day off tomorrow in Goodyear against Cleveland on Wednesday. Then a split squad day coming up on Thursday. Here's the 0-2. That's a low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We were reminded again, enjoy the warm weather. Not your typical Arizona warm weather, because it's going to get cool again in the next few days.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Breeze blowing from right to left, coming in at times today. A little bit of a stall game going on now as Bailey is back set, ready to come in on Cole Calhoun. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the next pitch, that's low. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Cole Calhoun has done a very fine job in just tracking the baseball down. Last 2 pitches off speed, no flinching or jumping whatsoever. 2 strikes now that his vision has gotten wider with his left eye, and the left side of the diamond certainly allows him to lay off those off-speed pitches out in the zone and down.
This will be the 50th pitch of the day for Bailey. And here it comes, lined into left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Upton is going to be waved in. He better hurry. Throw to the plate, and he is out. Well, there was a little bit of confusion there as Upton was heading into third base. At first you thought he was going to be stopping, then a little bit of confusion. He tried to score on that one, and he'll be gunned down.
Yeah, Dino Ebo himself not sure how quickly the left fielder was going to get to the ball. He did a good job getting to it on the one hopper, and not as clear or visual. You see Dino's always very expressive, and that's what caught Upton by surprise.
So the play at the plate goes 7-2. Left fielder throwing to the catcher. Cole Calhoun ends up getting a single on it, his first hit of the day, and now with 2 outs, still 4-2 Angels. At the plate is Cozart, and the first pitch on him, he takes that one for strike 1.
That spray chart for Cole Calhoun keeps getting better and better to the left side.
Yep.
Again,
another opposite field hit. Bailey's next pitch. This is popped up on the right side, shallow right field. A lot of people chasing. It'll be the first baseman Votto in foul ground, having that one pop off his glove. He tried to make a running over the shoulder grab, got some leather on it, but couldn't catch it.
a lot of action here in this ball game so far in less than 3 innings.
Nothing is coming easy for anybody today.
And Joey Votto turns his back. He thought he had a sure shot, not able to get it. And then, of course, with the fans in the ball, he's well known to do some tricky things with the fans when there's a foul ball.
Votto has been a Gold Glover, but didn't catch that one. They're not going to charge him with an error. It was a foul ball. So the count's 1 ball, 1 strike here on Cozart. Here's the next one, and here's a little pop into shallow right center field. The right fielder is there. Making the grab is Winker, and that's how the inning will end. The Angels do come up with 2 runs on 3 hits, leave a base runner. We have completed 3 here at Tempe Diablo. We head to the 4th. Angels leading the Reds 4-2 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Fourth inning we go. The Angels back up by a pair, 4-2. And the first batter for Cincinnati, their catcher Devin Mesoraco, he walked his first time up. Garrett Richards' pitch, and boy, that one got away from Richards. That was way up and in for ball one. Mesoraco having to back out of the batter's box there. 1 ball, no strikes. This game has not been real fluid in any way, shape, or form so far.
A lot of things to clean up after this one.
Wow. And here's the pitch. That one is fouled off and right over by the Reds dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It almost duplicates the latter third of ball games here in spring training.
Yes, they can get a little wiry. 1 ball, 1 strike, and here's the next pitch. That's a fastball that is high and inside. That one had a little extra on it, but it's ball 2. 2-1 is the count. Peraza, the shortstop, waits on deck, and then Billy Hamilton, their speedy center fielder, will follow. Garrett Richards has been consistently behind hitters here today. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and he misses again. 3-1. He's already walked 5 in 3 innings, and he's also thrown a couple wild pitches, and he's behind here on Mesoraco, who did walk his first at bat.
That is 9 first pitch balls in a row for Garrett Richards.
Here's the next delivery. That's a liner into left field. That's going to fall in for a leadoff hit. So getting the ball back to the infield is Upton, and Mesoraco has a leadoff single. In this game, in the 4 innings, the Reds have had the leadoff batter reach base safely in every inning.
I wonder what Lou Piniella has to say about this. Lou is to our left, former manager, successful major league player, now an advisor to the Reds, and Lou gave me that look between innings like, what is going on?
Yeah, strange game so far. Here's Peraza, the Red shortstop,
Terry, and one of the great characters of this game.
Oh, for sure.
Great stories all the way around.
As
Success.
a player and a manager.
Seattle Mariners 2001, and that incredible season, that was the man at the helm.
The ball's 1 strike. Here's the next delivery, and that's a fastball way high and outside.
And you were part of the Yankee system, Terry, in the minor leagues, and I think some of the best stories, which cannot be told on air, Lou and Mr. Steinbrenner.
Yes, sure.
Getting into some heated arguments over personnel or decisions. A lot of fun.
Here's the next delivery, and that is a little bit low and away, so it's 2 balls and a strike. We'll check out the Jeep out-of-town scoreboard for you in just a moment. It's powered by the new 2019 Jeep Cherokee. Embrace every new opportunity with a newly redesigned exterior and 31 highway MPG. Test drive one today. We actually have a final already in the Cactus League today.
Come on.
We do. Here's the pitch. Here's a little pop into shallow right center field. Could be a tough play, but it is caught over there by Kinsler, the second baseman. Over the shoulder catch in shallow right field. Cole Calhoun wasn't going to be able to get to that one, and that was a nice play.
Kinsler does that in foul territory. Also going back to short right field, as good as anybody in the game. And we saw it happen when he was a Ranger many times in that spacious right center field area there in Arlington. At times where it could be a little tricky.
So that's out number 1. Still the runner at first base, Mesoraco, and here's Billy Hamilton, the center fielder. First pitch, that's a fastball high. It misses ball 1.
One of the players Lou has been spending time with is this man right here, Billy Hamilton. Just think about contact on the ground and run.
1 ball, no strikes on Hamilton. He chops that one foul over on the first base side. Today in Cactus League play, a Royal split squad shut out San Diego 4-0. I wonder what time that game started today. And the Royals have another split squad game under the lights against Texas, a Rangers split squad later on this evening.
Cactus League final.
Yeah. The other Rangers split squad will play the Indians, and they're underway. It's 4-1 in favor of Cleveland in the bottom of the third inning as the pitch is fouled back to the screen. It's 1-2. Oakland has a 1-0 lead against the Giants. That's in the fourth. Dodgers blanking Milwaukee 3-0 in the third. Arizona and Colorado no score. That's in the third inning. Seattle will be playing a night game in Peoria tonight, taking on the White Sox. There are more night games this spring here in Arizona, as that one is chased and missed, and a good breaking pitch there gets Hamilton. That is only the second strikeout today for Richards. And now we see Angels manager Mike Scioscia coming out to the mound. That might be his final pitch of the day as well. So we'll see if we're going to have a pitching change, and you would certainly think that's going to be the case right now, and it will be. So we'll take a break. When we get back, we'll let you know who's coming in to pitch for the Angels and fill you in on what's happening in Florida in the Grapefruit League and spring training play. Break of the action, 4-2. Angels leading here in the fourth. Pitching change coming up on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. John Lamb will be the new Angel pitcher, left-hander, who we've seen a few times this spring. This will be his fourth appearance, and he's worked 6 innings, allowing 4 hits and 3 earned runs. So he gets ready to face Cliff Pennington. Here's the first delivery. That's right in there for a called strike. Garrett Richards threw 76 pitches today, and the breakdown balls and strikes was dead even, right down the middle, 38 and 38. Here's the next delivery. This is a shallow fly ball lifted into left center field. Mike Trout is circling under. He is there to make the catch on it, and that will end the inning. In the inning, they had the leadoff hit and leave a runner on. The bottom of the fourth is next. 4-2 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Shohei Ohtani will be the first batter up for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. He'll be followed by Rene Rivera and David Fletcher, the bottom 3rd of the Angels batting order. Ohtani is first time up today, grounded out to short. Homer Bailey still pitching for Cincinnati, and the first pitch, it's chopped a little bit on the right side in foul ground. It was fielded there by Votto. It was hugging the line, but a foul ball, and the count, no balls and a strike.
Good to see Shohei jump on that fastball, anticipating inside, and getting a good idea now as to some of the patterns that are being used against him here in the ball games.
We've yet to really see him drive the baseball like we've seen during workouts and batting practice.
It should come.
Here's the 0-1, and he chases that one and misses it. Worked him inside there, and the count 0-2.
Look at Mesoraco, Terry. He sets up. He just doesn't move. He's like, here it is. Once again, very quiet behind the plate. And giving that target to Homer Bailey.
Bailey so far today has 1 strikeout, and the pitch, boy, there's one that's hit right to the shortstop. The bat barrel goes flying into the stands. The throw by Peraza will easily get Ohtani. So he's retired on the cracked bat right there on the ground out, and the broken bat. It's brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Look for Wonderful Pistachios at Angel Stadium in your local grocery store or pharmacy. Now let's get cracking.
A lot of concern there by Ohtani coming out of the batter's box. He sees the ball go towards the infield, but he's looking more as to where that bat is flying into the stands.
So here's Rivera batting now, and he takes a breaking ball for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Today in Florida in the Grapefruit League, we do have some finals. Washington beat Detroit 5-4. Baltimore over Pittsburgh 8-5. Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 6-4 as Rivera nubs that one foul on the right side. And there will be a number of teams off today. No games for several clubs training in Florida. 2 night games. Atlanta will be hosting Philadelphia, and the Yankees will play under the lights against the Minnesota Twins. Here's the 1-1, and that's chased and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Before the break, you were talking about the many more night games all throughout spring.
Well, yeah, the Angels play 4 this spring, which is the most I can ever recall here in Arizona. And Seattle, we looked at their schedule. They have 12 night games here in Arizona this spring. There's one that's chased and missed, and down on strikes goes Rene Rivera.
All by design, and a lot of the night games in spring training through the years were dictated by the television schedules, especially with the Yankees and the Red Sox over in the Grapefruit League. Now it's a matter of even going along with some of the sleep patterns, and studies have been done through the years as to how to better maximize the most out of the players, and spring training is getting its hold of night games.
Yeah, well, most games played in the big leagues are played under the lights, so you know, maybe teams looking to kind of do more of that now here in spring training. There's a pitch taken for a strike, and the count 1-1.
I can only see that trend going up. So in other words, some of the lighting in spring training and around the Cactus and Grapefruit League will only get better.
Yeah.
It should be improved.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1, and that one is low. David Fletcher at the plate, grounded out his first time up. It's 4-2 Angels. We're in the bottom of the 4th here at Tempe Diablo Stadium.
Night games, old spring training, Terry. That's a long day. Not for the players, for the staff.
Yeah. Here's the next pitch, and that one got away from Bailey. It was way high and inside. 3-1 the count. Angels have scored their runs in 2s, and that's the case for the Reds. Angels with a 2-run first, 2-run third. The Reds with a 2-run third. Next delivery on Fletcher, grounds one on the right side, and it's out of the reach of Pennington and through into right center field. So David Fletcher has a 2-out single. 12 hits for him this spring.
Yeah, that easily leads the ball club in Cypress High School. Prior to what he's done here in the spring, came into today with a .441 on base percentage. I would say, Terry, with David Fletcher, every swing looks about the same. Sprays the ball around, short to the baseball. Does not think about elevating, which is great. Stays in his game.
Got to think his stock is on the rise.
Certainly.
As a guy kind of knocking on the door, maybe an insurance policy for the Angels when the season begins. He'll likely be in the minors, although you never can tell. The pitch, and that one is a little bit inside on Kinsler. 1 ball, no strikes. Kinsler's having a nice day. Homer and a single. He's driven in an Angel run and scored 2. Here's the 1-0 pitch on Ian Kinsler, and that one taken for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Reds do have action in their bullpen. Looks like a left-hander is up. Bailey now at 67 pitches. And here's the next delivery. That's a breaking ball right in there for a called strike. See what the Angels end up doing pitching wise when we get to the top of the 5th. Lamb came in and ended up getting the final out.
Hope to see him go back out there, which Mike Scioscia and Charles Nagy have done the last 3 days, is allowing the relievers to get an out or 2 1 inning, come back in and get back on the mound. Middleton, Alvarez, Pena have all had to do it.
Yesterday's ball game against the Texas Rangers, we saw that be the case with Middleton. Alvarez came back for a 2nd inning. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the next pitch, and Kinsler checks the swing on that one. They say he was holding. 3-1 the count. Infielders are backed up with 2 outs. Outfield not too deep, especially Hamilton, that center fielder, and the right fielder shallow as well. And there's one that's chopped right to the 3rd baseman. Senzel has it. His throw will get Kinsler. They get him out for the first time today, and that will end the inning. Angels had a 2-out hit. That was it here in the 4th. We go to the 5th inning. Right now, Angels up 4-2 against the Reds on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Continue, and he will face the top of the batting order for the Reds here as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Angels have a 4-2 lead. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Angels, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Reds. First pitch from Lamb, that's outside and low. It misses for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Jesse Winker is the batter. And the next pitch on him, that is a little bit low and misses. Winker, time in the minors and the majors last year. Here's the next delivery. That one is in there for a strike. Winker is a guy fighting for a chance to be an everyday player for the Reds this season. There's a pitch that he takes, and that one misses. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Team that hit 219 home runs last season.
Here's the 3-1. Fouled off on the left side, backing out of play.
So no strangers to the long ball, and that ballpark was very favorable for that.
Reds were 13th overall in the majors in homers. They were a good base stealing team last year, 3rd best in the majors in that department. And here's one lifted into shallow left field that Upton will come in on and make the grab, and Winker is retired. That's the first out here in the 5th.
Got to look at the percentages and those stolen bases, how they're in proportion, and how many of those accounted for Billy Hamilton.
Hamilton last season 59 of the stolen bases for the Reds, and they had 120, so just about half of them were
Go
one
figure.
guy.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Here's the pitch. This is Senzel at the plate, and the first one in there for a strike. He's been on a couple of times in this game, fielder's choice, and he's also singled in a run. Next delivery, and that one he chases and misses.
John Lamb really has done a good job incorporating his fastball, showing just enough of it, sometimes off the plate against the right-hander, but he has been pretty much cruising along in getting the outer half for strikes, changeups, and curveballs.
2-strike pitch. That's fouled off on the right side. Now, Lamb at one time, and he has pitched in the big leagues. He was a very highly thought of prospect in the Royals organization, a 5th-round pick of Cincinnati back in 2008. And the pitch of the Royals, John Lamb, their 5th-round selection in 2008.
Thankful for another opportunity by the Angels and Billy Epler giving him a call after a winter ball that saw him have an ERA over 5, and after, of course, a suspension because of issues off the field last year.
There's a pitch that is taken and misses for a ball.
Add to that some injuries. He is more than happy, and really is capitalized on the Angels putting him out there on the mound and giving him another uniform to wear.
Here's the next pitch, and this is lifted in the air into the outfield and right field, waiting for it to come down, and making the grab is Cole Calhoun. And that will be the second out. Angel fans, get your red on. Experience Angels baseball with your group of 20 or more and get tickets for as low as $8 per seat. Just call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups for details. John Lamb facing the Reds, used to pitch for them as well. He was a guy that was in their starting rotation for a time in 2015 and 2016. Had 2 rough years though with Cincinnati. ERA in the big leagues for Lamb over 6, and his 1-loss record in the majors, all with the Reds, 2 wins, 12 losses. He's set. Here's the 1-1, and that's chased and missed by Votto. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's that fastball he'll put in spots where you're not anticipating if you're looking off speed, and when you see it, it looks way too good.
So he has Votto down, and here's the 1-2, and that just missed inside.
Lamb thought he had it. Rivera thought he had it. Mike Scioscia thought they had him.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Joey Votto. And the next delivery, that one is low. We talked about players that have had to battle through various issues, and you alluded to John Lamb. Joey Votto, of course, struggles with a stress-related disability. And there's a pitch that misses on him, and he's on with a walk. Second time he's walked today. Votto has been very open about anxiety problems,
yes.
panic attacks, depression.
After his father passed away, he went through a very dark time in his life.
And yet a guy that's been an all-star 5 times in this game, and one of the best hitters in baseball.
Fun guy to be around. There's a lot of good hitting going on over there at the first base right now. Good talk.
Yeah, Votto and Albert Pujols covering the bag. Here's the next delivery, and that one missed. Snap throw by Rivera over to first base to Albert, and Votto is back.
So let's see, Terry, at first base. Let's count Gold Gloves, MVPs, Silver Sluggers, RBIs, home runs, you name it. Leaders in their communities and their clubhouses.
There's one that's chased and missed by Adam Duvall.
All-star appearances. Votto, Pujols. Votto from Canada.
Here's the next delivery, and this is chopped right to short, handled there by Fletcher. He'll flip to Kinsler, and the inning will end on the 6-4 fielder's choice. Not a whole lot happening for the Reds against Lamb here in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the inning. 4-2 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Mike Trout will lead it off for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-2 Angels leading Cincinnati, and there's a new pitcher for the Reds. Amir Garrett will take over, a left-hander who was born in Victorville. He has ties back to Southern California in the pitch, and the first one that is taken by Trout for ball 1. This guy has a good arm, fastball, slider, changeup. Had a rough year though last year with the Reds. He did start 14 games for them last year in the pitch, and that one inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
Also has a good vertical.
Yep, he can jump. 6'5". He was a college basketball player for a couple of years at St. John's. He was in the Big East. Here's one chopped to third. Nice stop there by Senzel, and he had to hurry the throw, and he gets Trout. He's looked pretty good over there at third base.
He has. Bringing some memories of another young third baseman who is about the same size as Alex Bregman, and playing that defense flawlessly over there at third base.
5 assists already in the game for Senzel at third base.
Not only just the play, but the guy that he threw out on the run is Mike Trout.
So the batter now is Justin Upton, who's driven in a run. He's 0 for 2, though, with the RBI. And the pitch, and that one missed a little bit inside. You were kind of talking before we saw Garrett start this inning off in relief. He kind of resembles a young Aroldis Chapman out on the mound. There's one that's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
I thought I was watching Team Cuba. First time I saw Aroldis Chapman, the World Baseball Classic. As a starting pitcher, by the way, with Cuba. But the same body type right there.
Yep.
Then came, Terry, the food in the U.S. and the big league meal money.
That's right. Here's a fly ball that's hit into very shallow left center field, and backpedaling is Peraza, the shortstop. He had some other people in pursuit as well, Pennington and Hamilton.
Angels on the move, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, the official freight partner of the Angels and Major League Baseball.
4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 1 home run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch.
Homer Bailey, the starter for the Reds, ended up going 4 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. He walked a batter, struck out 2, gave up a homer, and threw a wild pitch. First one here on Albert from Garrett, and that misses ball 1.
70 2/3 innings last year at the big league level. ERA over 7, but he allowed 23 home runs.
2 balls, no strikes. Yeah, that's a lot of homers for that few number of innings. You're going to have a high ERA, and sure enough, he did a year ago, over 7. So there was a learning curve for him last year.
Early in camp, he was one of the most impressive arms the Reds had as young starters vying for that number 5 spot, and they've had a couple of scares in their rotation. Finnegan came out of a game yesterday as he's like a forearm issue.
Here's the pitch. Albert lifts one in the air down the left side, and that's a fair ball. It's going to take a couple of bounces, hit off the wall down in the left field corner. It's going for 2. He better hurry, and he's going to get there in time. So Albert with his 2nd double of this game, and I don't think we ever saw him get 2 doubles in one game all last season.
We're talking about the amount of doubles and how they went down quantity-wise for Albert Pujols last season, and the reason was this last season would have been automatic long single. That's it. He just could not get going with the issues affecting his legs and his feet, and it's good to see a lighter Albert making the effort. He'll be collecting some more doubles hopefully this season.
Albert had 17 doubles last year.
It's very unusual. A guy that's going to be usually around the 35 to 40, close to 50 doubles sometimes.
So here's Cole Calhoun at the plate, and the first pitch, that one is taken for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes.
And both doubles today. He's had to hustle to make it to second base.
One and 0 the count. And the next delivery that's in there for a called strike.
I mentioned Finnegan, who came out of that game yesterday. They don't think it's going to be anything too serious. It's supposed to be one of their starters.
And here's the pitch. Chopped on the left side. It's fielded there by Peraza, and the shortstop's throw will be in time to get Cole Calhoun, and the inning will end. We were checking. Albert had 1 game last season back in May, early May at Seattle a year ago, where he had a couple of doubles in the same ball game. So just once all last season. He has had a pair here today. We're through 5, and we're headed to the 6th inning here in Tempe. The Angels doubling up the Reds at the moment 4-2 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. We start the 6th inning off with John Lamb still pitching for the Angels, and his first delivery was chased and missed by Mason Williams, who leads it off for the Reds. He's had an 0 for 2 day. And here's the pitch, and that is right in there for a called strike. So it's no balls, 2 strikes. Lamb is set, and here's the 0-2, and that one is fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in just a moment. It's brought to you by the Ram 1500. It's Ram Truck Month, and you can hurry in for a great deal or visit ramtrucks.com to check out the powerful Ram lineup. Here's the pitch, and that's chopped on a few hops right to the second baseman, Ian Kinsler. He will throw out Mason Williams, and that'll be out number 1. Mesoraco will be the next batter in the Cactus League today. In the action, we were wondering what time they got that game started, and that was Kansas City split squad beating San Diego. They began that game at 12:05 today.
Still pretty quick.
Yeah, really fast game, and that game went to the Royals. They shut out San Diego 4-0. The Padres had only 2 hits in that game.
It's not Mike Burley on the mound. No Burley sighting.
No.
But you know what? There's an Andy Pettit.
Yeah, we saw
Sighting
Andy
here.
Pettit here today. That's right. There's one that's fouled off on the left side. Andy Pettit has some connections from Billy Epler back in their days with the Yankees, and Andy Pettit is a pitching coach for a high school baseball team in Texas. It's playing a tournament out here.
Lance Berkman, also a part of that team.
He's the head coach, and Andy Pettit's a pitching coach. Can you imagine your high school team having those 2 former major league greats as your coaches?
Oh,
wow. You would just have to learn how to play the game with that coaching staff in high school.
solid players, solid people.
Yeah. So they were here during batting practice today, and the pitch, that's a fly ball lifted into right center field. Chasing after it and making the grab is Cole Calhoun to retire Mesoraco, and that's the second out.
So you met Andy Pettit. How far back do you guys go?
Oh, we go back to the 90s together. Yeah, and he was with me for a couple years in the Yankee system, AAA. Yep. Hadn't seen him since he retired, so it's good to see him again.
So any indication at that point that he was going to be who he became?
Yeah,
I mean, from
yeah,
what you
you
saw
kind of
on the mound,
you had an idea this guy has a chance to be special.
Nice.
And of course a left-hander as well, and a champion many times wearing the Yankee pinstripes. Here's the 1-0 that's fouled back behind the plate. Other games in Arizona today. Texas split squad trailing the Indians 4-2 in the 5th. Giants lead the A's 5-1 in the 5th. Dodgers up on Milwaukee 3-0 in the 4th. And the Rockies are up on the D-backs 3-1. That's in the 4th inning. Next delivery, and here's another fly ball hit to Cole Calhoun. He will put that one away, and it's a quick, clean inning for John Lamb, who has gone 2 in the 3rd innings in relief. That's it for Cincinnati here in the 6th. The other game later on tonight in Cactus League play, Seattle will be hosting the White Sox. We'll update you on what's happening in Florida in the Grapefruit League when we get back. And this one is 4-2 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Zach Cozart leads it off for the Angels, facing Amir Garrett, and the first pitch was taken for a ball. To count 1 ball, no strikes. The Reds have made some changes defensively, and the pitch, here's a little flare that's going to fall into right field. That's going to be a bloop base hit for Cozart. He'll take that one. Didn't hit the ball that sharply. Might have cracked his bat on that one as well. He's on with a single, and the Angels have a base runner, and Shohei Ohtani is the next batter stepping up for the Angels.
And just playing a little joke, inside joke on Ohtani, Terry, since yesterday with the walk-up music song that they found. It was all smiles yesterday when he first heard it.
Looks like we have a pinch runner for the Angels, and here's a liner hit into left field, and lunging and falling down and making the grab on that one is the new left fielder, and that is Rosell Herrera.
That's pretty good contact there by Ohtani, going the other way against the lefty.
So that's out number 1 here in the inning, and Rene Rivera will be the next batter. Young Jr. Pinch running over there at first base for the Angels, so Cozart's day is done. The ex-Red went 1 for 3 against his former club. Here's the pitch. That's bounced back to Garrett. The pitcher goes to second for 1. Relay to first. It's a bad throw, and it's not handled by Dixon. And what looked like a surefire double play ball will turn out to be just a fielder's choice out at second. 2 gone in the inning. And David Fletcher is slated to bat, but it looks like we're going to see Chris Carter bat for him. So Carter will be the batter. And we'll see what happens here with 2 outs and the pitch, and that one is right in there for a strike.
There's pretty much a Mike Scioscia wanting to see Chris Carter face this left-hander as he becomes an option for the Angels in complimenting Luis Valbuena.
Here's the next delivery. This is lifted in the air. It's hit well into center field. Struggling a little bit with it, though, but making the catch is Billy Hamilton out there, and the inning is over. For a moment, it looked like he couldn't find that ball, but he had time to recover. It was hit so high, and the inning comes to an end. Patrick Kiplahan, who was playing in right field, was circling over as well. That's it for the Angels here in the bottom of the 6th. We go to the 7th inning. 4-2 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.
third base, number 83, Jose Hernandez. Now playing left field, number 54, Jabari Flash. Remaining game in center field, number 9, Eric Young Jr. Now playing right field, number 57, Martin Rivera. Now pitching number 26, Blake Wood. Leading off for the Reds, number 6, Billy.
So we get ready to move on here to inning number 7, and first batter up for the Reds will be Billy Hamilton. The Angels have made a boatload of changes, so we'll run those down for you. A lot of new faces out there. As a bunt, it's out in front of the plate, fielded by Blake Wood, the pitcher, the new pitcher for the Angels, and his throw is a little bit late, and that's going to be a bunt single for Hamilton.
It's a great job right there. More of that. It'll be a lot of smiles around Billy Hamilton and also everybody around the Cincinnati Reds organization. He is an immediate headache for the pitchers and catchers when he's aboard.
That is only his second hit all spring training. He was 0 for 1 today and now 2 for 23 this spring. But he can fly, and we'll see if he's on the move. He figures to be. He draws a throw and he dives back to the bag safely. The new first baseman for the Angels, replacing Albert Pujols, is Chris Carter. New second baseman is Caleb Cowart, and there goes Hamilton. Pitches strike, throw down to second, and waiting with the tag is the Angel shortstop Colin Walsh, and Hamilton is gunned down at second base.
A pretty impressive throwing and transfer of that pop time from Rivera over to the tag at second base. It's a great job all the way around.
So Rivera still in there, and boy, that throw was right on the money. So that's the first out. Here's the pitch on its way. That one misses low. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Next delivery, and that's a strike on Pennington. The count 1 ball 2 strikes. Blake Wood replacing John Lamb, and Lamb did a very nice job today for the Angels. The pitch, here's a little chopper hit right to second. Cowart over there right now, and he will throw to first, and Pennington is retired. 4-3 on the ground out. 2 are gone.
Terry, you're right. John Lamb, little by little, continues to put together a strong spring, and the Angels, as you can see by his outing today, are more concerned about him being stretched out than about he becoming a quick option out of the bullpen for a hitter or two from the left side. He's done a very fine job.
There's a pitch on Kiblahan, who's batting for the first time in the ball game, hitting out a Winker's spot, and the pitch, a ball to count 1-0. In Florida today in the Grapefruit League, Washington beat Detroit 5-4. Baltimore over Pittsburgh 8-5. Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 6-4, and the next delivery, it's lifted high in the air, hit well into center field, and that ball is going to be out of the reach of the Angels center fielder Eric Young Jr. He went back on it, couldn't quite get to it, and it dropped just behind him, and that is going to be a double for Kiblahan here to keep the inning alive.
It's one of those cases where the wind is going to dictate which direction you take once you turn your shoulder. In this case, it should have been his left shoulder, as this ball, one of the toughest to gauge when you're battling the Sun 2 here in Arizona. Really got away from the speedster in center field. One quick turn the wrong way cost him. Not to say that it was an easy play, of course.
Along with Eric Young Jr. out there in center field for the Angels, Jabari Blash is in left, and there's a bouncing ball by the mound out behind second, skips off the glove of Cowart. Ball ricochets into left center, and that's going to enable the runner Kiblahan to score from second base. So a hit there by Blandino, batting for the first time today. He's in the ball game. Alex Blandino playing third base. He singles in Kiblahan. A couple of their new players in the lineup doing some damage here with 2 outs, and the Reds trail the Angels by a run 4-3.
Ball not hit particularly hard. Tough hop there with a backhand for Colin Cowart. Not able to keep the ball in front of him.
The other change for the Angels in the outfield, Reimer Liriano is now playing in right field for the Angels. And there's also a new third baseman in the game for the Halos, Jose Miguel Fernandez. So a runner at first, 2 outs in the pitch. This is popped in the air. Brandon Dixon batting for the first time. Lifts one in the air into very shallow right. Coming in is Reimer Liriano with Coward right near him. He had gone back to second baseman, but it's Liriano's call and catch, and that is how the inning will end. But a run for Cincinnati. They had 3 hits in the inning, and they leave a runner on. 7th inning stretch time. Bottom of the 7th we go. Angels are leading here in Tempe by a score 4-3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher in the ballgame for Cincinnati is Cody Reed, so he replaces Amir Garrett. Garrett worked the last 2 innings and along the way gave up 2 hits, no runs. He did not walk or strike out anyone, so Reed is their 3rd pitcher of the day. They also have a new second baseman. Phil Goslin has taken over for Cliff Pennington. There is a new catcher in the game, and that is Tony Cruz. He replaces Mesoraco. And it looks like Billy Hamilton has left the ball game as well for Cincinnati, and Philip Irvin is now playing in center. And at the plate for the Angels is Liriano. First time up for him today, and he swings at the first pitch from Reed and fouls it off on the right side, backing out of play. No balls, 1 strike to count. Liriano hitting out a Kinsler slot. Ian Kinsler is 2 for 3 today with a home run. Also scored a couple, and there's a pitch in there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. So substitutions everywhere right now. Jabari Blash is the Angel batter waiting on deck, and there's one that's chased and missed, and Liriano is out on strikes, 1 away. Blash will be batting out of Mike Trout's slot. Trout was 1 for 2 with a single, walk, and 2 runs scored. Want to remind you, register your little angel for the 2018 Junior Angels Kids Club for only $18. Members receive 4 ticket vouchers. a t-shirt, a lunch bag, and other exclusive merchandise. Visit angels.com/Junior Angels for details.
That's a good deal.
Real good deal.
Yeah, nice package there. So get the family in there. Get the youngsters in.
Here's Blash at the plate. He lifts one on the right side. This first baseman Brandon Dixon goes back on the outfield grass to make a nice catch on that one.
Shortstop, number 51, Colin Walsh.
So 2 quick outs. Colin Walsh will be the next batter. He's batting out of Upton's number 3 spot. Justin was 0 for 3 with a run batted in. Here's the pitch, and this is bounced on a high hop out near the mound. It's stopped by Reed. His throw gets away over at first base, and Walsh is safe. They're going to score that. An infield single for Colin Walsh, keeping the inning going.
Got Alfredo at first base. He's taking a little jab from the Angels dugout. Alfredo to be on the move. Putting a little salsa move over there by the first base coaching box.
Yep, he was trying to get out of the way of that loose baseball over there. So here's Coward batting. He's hitting out of Albert Pujols' slot.
How about Alfredo Griffin, Terry, since day one with Mike Scioscia here, former teammate of his. And Alfredo, you know what he says? He says, I get a lot of letters and thank you cards from parents and kids on baseballs that he provides through the season. Show me a whole bunch. He says most of these are not just autograph. People looking for autographs, but thank you cards.
Tossing a foul ball into the seats. Yeah. People saying thank you. Here's the next delivery. This is hit well by Coward out in left center field. Out near the warning track, running it down is Rosel Herrera, the left fielder, and that's how the inning will end. Ball's hit a long way and hit sharply. That'll do it for the Angels here in the bottom of the 7th. We go to the 8th. It's a 4-3 Angels lead here in Tempe on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Eighth inning we go. 4-3 Angels. Angels have a new pitcher, Jim Johnson, a new catcher, Carlos Perez, and the Reds have a new batter getting ready to pinch hit for their DH Adam Duvall is Sebastian Elizalde. And here's the first pitch on Elizalde batting from the left side. That one is in there for strike one. No balls and one strike. Here's the next delivery, and he lines that one into right center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So the pinch hitter is on with a single representing the tying run. He's on at first base to start the inning off.
Jim Johnson's 6 games with this one here now. No record, 3.60 ERA. Came into today with 5 innings under his belt, 3 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, and 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1.76 average against him.
Here comes the pitch, and this is Rosell Herrera batting, and the first delivery of ball on him. This is his first time up today. One ball, no strikes to count on Herrera. And the next delivery, it's chopped on the right side. That is fielded there by Chris Carter, and he will apply the tag once the batter comes up the line at first base, and that will be an easy out, very easy out.
We know one thing, he's not going to try to run through Chris Carter. He's got no chance.
So it does advance the base runner into scoring position. Up to second goes Elizalde, and he represents the tying run. Tony Cruz is batting now. This is his first time up, hitting out a Mesoraco's spot. He replaced him behind the plate as well.
He's an experienced backup catcher here, Tony Cruz.
And the first pitch on Cruz, that one is taken for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Tony Cruz spent a little time with the Kansas City Royals a couple of years ago. He was in the Padres system last year. Just a career .218 hitter. Signed as a free agent with the Reds during the offseason. And this spring, as far as Cruz, 3 for 13. He's had a home run. Blake Wood, who pitched last inning for the Angels, gave up 3 hits, a run earned in his 1 inning. Did not walk or strike out anyone. And Johnson trying to have a scoreless inning here in the top of the 8th.
So a pretty decent crowd here today, and a beautiful day and afternoon here in the Phoenix area.
Here's the pitching line.
And those next Cactus League game after today will be on Wednesday against the Indians in Goodyear, when Matt Shoemaker will take them out against Corey Kluber.
Kluber, one of the best in the American League and in baseball, for that matter.
No doubt. And Matt Shoemaker will try to find, again, consistency and perhaps a better outing, one that could be encouraging for him, both in the way he throws the ball and also in the results. Angels tomorrow, a scheduled inter-squad game. Many guys need to get their work in.
Here's the next delivery. It's chopped right out to short, handled there by Walsh, and his throw is in time. Cruz an easy out. 6-3 on the ground out. Now they have the potential tying run at third base with 2 away. And Darnell Sweeney will be the next batter.
And Shohei Ohtani scheduled to pitch on Friday against the Colorado Rockies.
So we'll see how that one shakes out on Friday. Angels facing the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the American League coming up when the Angels resume play on Wednesday. Corey Kluber won that award last year. Here's the next pitch. That's a little bit low and in on Sweeney. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and Sweeney tries to hold up on that one, and he went around. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sweeney was in the Dodgers organization in the past, and the delivery, that one is low. He was acquired by the Reds last May from the Dodgers. He can play in the infield and the outfield, and today, since he's been in the ball game, he's at shortstop. He's played some second base before, some center field as well. Gives you a little versatility. Here's the next pitch on him, and that one is fouled off on the left side, backing out of play.
Terry, by the way, a wonderful job by Tim Meade and the media relations department all around, PR department for the Angels, and the media guide. Nicely designed. As we get a hold of it. Vladimir Guerrero,
Yep.
Hall of Fame media guide. Vladdy Guerrero, right in the front.
Always one of the best in baseball, the Angels media guide. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Here's the next delivery, and that one is chased and missed. A breaking ball gets Sweeney, struck him out, and they'll keep that tying run over there at third base. The inning is over. Good job by Johnson. A scoreless inning here in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th is next. Angels lead at 4-3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. First batter for the Angels. We start the bottom of the 8th. Taking the pitch for a strike is Jose Miguel Fernandez as he faces Cody Reed working in his 2nd inning of relief. And the next delivery misses. The count's even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Reed trying to win a spot in the bullpen for Cincinnati. Comes in with the next delivery, and that is in there for a strike. That had Fernandez kind of moving out the plate. Cody Reed last year had a tough year with the Reds in 12 games, 11 in relief, an ERA of 5.09. The left-hander who throws hard. And there is a fastball that catches the outside part of the plate, and he gets Fernandez looking one away. Reed has been clocked at 99 miles per hour with his fastball. He's had some trouble with the home run ball, especially last year when he was with the Reds. Originally in the Royals organization.
You know, doing everything in his power to change things around. Bad numbers for Reed coming into today. You can see a nice clean delivery, a good arm, good size, and the ability to put a wrinkle on it along with that speed you talk about, Terry.
Eric Young Jr. batting for the first time today, takes strike 1, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. This is fouled off of his foot. Young's foot, it looks like. He's hobbling around trying to walk it off. This bottom of the 8th inning, it's being brought to you by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in California. Rotolo is pursuing excellence every day. You can visit them at rotolo.com. So Reed is set, and here's the next pitch. That's a pitch that misses high.
Talk about Reed trying to crack that bullpen for the Reds. One that manager Brian Price knows is truly valuable to complement the starting pitchers. And you talk about starting pitchers, also we had mentioned a couple of scares they suffered last week. Anthony Desclafani is now with a left oblique strain, very concerning to them.
There's a little pop into right center field. Racing over is Kiblahan to make the catch on that one, and retired is Eric Young Jr. for the second out.
Also mentioned Brandon Finnegan coming out of that game yesterday, and for Finnegan at least now they're saying it's only a biceps strain, so no big concern. It should be back in a couple of days. So in the meantime, Michael Lorenzen is making his way into the picture for that rotation spot. Throwing well, last outing out.
Mentioned DeSclafani, and a lot of people coming into spring training thinking he might be the Reds' #1 starter.
Now he suffered a setback.
Yep. And he did not pitch last season. So at the plate here is Ohtani, his 4th time up today. He's been a DH and backs away from that pitch. It's in there. Lefty-lefty matchup.
Good contact by Ohtani last time out, lined out and robbed by the left fielder Williams.
Next delivery, and that one is waved at and missed. So very quickly here, Ohtani is in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ohtani even talked about trying to do different things at bat to find his timing.
Here's the next delivery, and he is out looking. That one at the knees gets him, and a strong inning for Reed. He strikes out a pair and retires the Angels 1-2-3. So the 9th is next. We'll see if the Angels can hold on to the lead. On top of the Reds by a score of 4-3. We'll head to the 9th inning on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Well, the Angels will dip into the bullpen for the 4th time in this game, and the new reliever trying to get the save is Ian Kroll with the Atlanta Braves last year. 51 games, 2-2 record. ERA was 5.33. And his first delivery, this is Phillip Ervin at the plate, right-handed batter against the Angels lefty. The pitch in there for strike one. Ervin is batting out of Billy Hamilton's spot, the number 8 spot, and he replaced Hamilton at center field as well. And the next pitch, that one misses low for a ball. Ian Kroll, as he works for the Angels, appearing in his 7th game, all in relief. 5 1/3 innings, 9 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. ERA is 5.06 this spring, and he misses with that one, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike on Ervin. Jose Mota is headed downstairs for the post-game coverage. Angels Live on Fox Sports West. Mark Kubisaw with us. We'll have a visit with, we'll see, I believe it's going to be Mike Scioscia, but subject to change. 2-2 is the count. Kroll is ready, and here's the 2-2 pitch. And Ervin is going to be out on that one, trying to hold up on that pitch. Struck him out. 1 gone here to start off the 9th inning. So the next batter is Phil Gosselin. He came in to take over at second base, and as he digs in here, batting out of the 9 spot that was occupied by Cliff Pennington, this is his first at bat today, and he takes the first pitch and misses ball 1. Gosselin batting from the right side. AAA last year, hit .260. And the pitch, he hits a low liner. It's caught just above the shoe tops by Angels third baseman Jose Miguel Fernandez. 1 more out to go. 2 gone here in the 9th. Patrick Kivlahan will be the batter. He's had a double and he scored a run his only time up. So 1 more out to go as the Angels try and pick up back-to-back wins here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Won the game yesterday over the Texas Rangers here by the score of 4-3. Trying to do it again by the same score against the Reds. Understand that Mark Kubisaw will be visiting with Angels pitching coach Charlie Nagy after the ball game. So that's coming up here maybe within just a minute or so. Here's the pitch. It's a called strike on the outside corner. 1-1 to count. Jim Johnson, who pitched last inning for the Angels, gave up a hit, no runs in his 1 inning of work. Didn't walk, and he struck out a batter. Reds have been held to just 7 hits today by Angels pitching. The Angels with 5 pitchers to see action in this game. 1-1 pitch missed on Kivlahan. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. Kivlahan last year hit just .208 with the Reds. 9 home runs, played in 115 games, reserve player, and he takes that one outside. Kivlahan, kind of an interesting story. He played 4 years of college football at Rutgers. He was a defensive back, a safety, and he played only 1 year of college baseball, but here he is, a big leaguer. And the next pitch, that's on the outside corner, a called strike. So the Reds are down to their final strike in this game. Counts full. We'll see what gives on the next offering as Kroll is ready. Here it comes, and he misses outside. That pitch got away. It was nowhere close. So the game stays alive for the Reds here in the 9th inning with 2 outs. They have a 2-out walk. Angels pitching walking 7 today. 5 of them issued by Garrett Richards, who walked 5 batters in 3 2/3 innings today. Richards struggled today. Garrett Richards making his 4th start this spring and had a pitch with a lot of traffic on the bases today. Here's Blandino batting. Alex Blandino, and the first pitch on him a ball to count 1 ball, no strikes. Former first-round pick of the Reds, this batter right here. First-round pick 2014. And he takes that one for a called strike, and the count 1-1 on Blandino. Quick toss over to first, and picked off as the runner over there, and that's how the game's going to end. Ian Kroll just picks off Kivlahan, and that will end this ball game. You don't see a game end on a pickoff at first base very often, and that was a heck of a move. Kivlahan trying to cheat a little bit over there at first base, representing the potential tying run, maybe extended the lead too far. And then Kroll just picks him off to end the ball game. So a very unusual ending today here in Tempe. The Angels will certainly take it as the Angels come away with the victory here this afternoon, beating the Reds by the final of 4-3. So the Angels spring training Cactus League record improves to 8-11. Cincinnati is now 6-12-1. The ball game today, 3 hours and we'll check the time of game here today, but in any case, Garrett Richards will get the victory, and Homer Bailey will be the losing pitcher today for the Cincinnati Reds. Angels victorious today here at Tempe Diablo. We'll have a day off tomorrow, and then the Angels will resume the Cactus League on Wednesday with a game against the Indians in surprise split squad day on Thursday. One of those games will be here against the White Sox. The Angels will also be here in Tempe for a game against Colorado on Friday. All right, we're going to take you down along the first base line. Mark Gubisaw is standing by with Angels pitching coach Charlie Nagy.
Thanks, Terry. Charlie, what do you think about Garrett Richards' performance? I mean, the results are okay, but the consistency with his release point didn't seem to be there today.
Yeah, Garrett was fighting himself out there on the mound. He was fighting himself. He was fighting the mound. He wasn't happy with the umpire, you know. Blue sky, you know. We all have days like that out here, and he kind of had it today. But to Garrett's credit, you know, he battled. He threw a lot of pitches, but he kept it close, kept it tight, and you know, it was just one of those days. But Garrett's got the kind of stuff that, you know, he can get. He can have those results that look good on paper, but not so good while watching them.
As a pitching coach, what can you say just to try to get him back into that rhythm and all? Because it was tough for him, but even though, like you said, his stuff was still there.
You just hope over time something clicks. You know, I mean, you can try and calm him down or talk to him about not moving his head so much or a mechanical thing, but you just hope maybe he tires himself out, or, like I said, in between innings, something clicks and he goes out and just finds his good rhythm. But today he just struggled all game with it.
On the positive side, Lamb threw the ball very, very well today. What you'd like to see out of him today?
Just exactly what he did. John threw the ball great today. He's been doing that all spring, so happy for him and happy the way he threw today.
I appreciate it, Charlie. Hey, by the way, the sky is blue after all.
It's blue after all, yes, thanks.
Thanks, Charlie. All right, Terry, back to you. The sky is blue, believe it or not.
Very entertaining, fellas. Thanks for the visit after the ball game here today at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Well, the Angels come away with the victory again, and it ended on a pickoff on the potential tying runner over there at first base. Angels win it by the score of 4-3. I want to thank you for joining us here from Tempe Diablo Stadium, and for those of you watching on Fox Sports West, Jose Mota and Mark Gubisaw will have a lot more post-game analysis coming up on Angels Live. And on the radio side, we'll have some more for you coming up, some more post-game coverage on our flagship station, Angels Radio AM 830. 4-3 Angels over Cincinnati today. Thanks for joining us on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.